Steve, thanks for joining me on Zoom today. I'm glad to see that you've not had the same sort of barbershop issues that I have there. You're looking quite well trimmed and everything else. How are you coping with social distancing and isolation at the moment?
Yeah, it's been tough, like the lack of routine, I suppose, and obviously we'll probably talk about later. But I'm going to a new position, which I'm really excited about, and you wanting to get your teeth into it and really crack on. But it's been frustrating in that respect. But there's quite a lot of stuff that I've been doing at home with some of the other coaches, and a lot of planning, a lot of preparation that's making us, push forward for next year and be as best prepared as possible. It's hard to plan as much. You can only plan to a certain extent because obviously we don't know when we're going to be. But just try to keep busy as well. Obviously doing plenty of stuff like that, but then trying to take my mind off with other stuff. So my missus is giving me plenty of jobs to do. So I'm got the fencing done, got the garden looking pretty sharp at the moment. So I'll be hoping to get back to work for a rest on this year.
Coming into this first season as head coach, when you were appointed to the position, I'd imagine that the situation would have been the furthest from what you would have imagined when you were prepping for a new season. And COVID-19 is obviously affecting the whole world in an array of ways. But it's going to be particularly poignant, you imagine, for Championship rugby. I know a lot of clubs have put statements out about how they're going to operate next year, and I know that we've put out a few messages to fans, to supporters in a time when the business doors are closed. How do you think it's going to affect how we're going to operate and how we're going to try to do business next year?
I think a lot of Championship clubs have realised that they've got to cut the cough accordingly, and I think that's what we're going to have to do as a club. We're doing everything we can to maintain a full-time status, which we will be doing next year, which I think is really positive for the club and the community in the area. We've got full-time rugby to go and watch, but I think you just got to be a little bit smarter around your recruitment and stuff, and how you spend your money, really.
I guess on that note, you touched on it there. Whilst the world seemingly has stopped, we still do need to build a squad for next year. At some point, the 2021 season will start. We've been a little bit quiet on the recruitment front. I know we've talked about a couple of re-signings, some really important guys come back in, and the lad James Kane from Australia, but recruitment behind the scenes, I believe, is bubbling on and going quite well.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on. We've moved quite early on a lot of stuff. I'm a big believer in doing that. I think you get more bang for your buck. It's and we've probably gone a different route to how we've gone in the past. I'm running a model that I think is something that I believe in. So we're probably going to go a lot younger, probably a little bit more ambitious. And I've tried to get a bit more balance in the squad that I'd like, from the way that I think as a coaching team that we would like to play, and just gives us a bit more balance and a few more options to play different styles or be more adaptable. But yeah, I mean, we're recruiting well. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Why some of the sort of announcements are probably a little bit quiet. There's a lot of ducks to get in a row really at the moment, and make sure that people's families are safe and well before we can start announcing those things. The crossovers and from clubs and stuff. So it's a tricky time, and I understand supporters are probably itching to know who's coming in. It's not that we're not wanting to tell people. It's just that there's a lot of stuff to sort out first. It's not as smooth and as fluid as what it normally would be.
So just asking for a bit of patience, but faith that the boys are in play, and there is a squad built ready for when pre-season can start.
I want to share as much as we can. So I want to open up the rugby department to support us. I think it's really important that they know what's going on. This isn't how it's going now with the lack of new announcements. Isn't how it's going to move forward. It's just a case of we have to do it at the moment. We have to be a little bit careful in what we're doing.
Yeah, of course. And I suppose with pre-season, then you touched on it, it's quite hard to make definite plans at the moment, because if you watch the news, there's talk about lockdowns being lifted at one date, then another date, then another date. So I guess that as it stands, you've kind of got plan A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way down to Z.
Yeah, well, it gets to the point where you could do that. I think what we decided as a coaching team was, I said, look, we'll have 2 or 3 plans. And they're quite vague and quite rough because they've got to be fluid. And then off the back of that, if it changes again, then you just got to adapt, and we're going to have to do. We've got a rough idea what we want to do. It's just how we're going to fit it in. Now, sometimes it might be a case of if we get Plan C or Plan D, we've got to pick what's most important for the team to be prepared to play the first game. Also, we don't know what we will be able to do when we come in. Is it going to be a case of you'll have to train sort of in small groups, isolated, no contact? Is it going to be contact? We don't know. So there's no point us planning that we're going to do, these contact-based conditioning session if we can't do it. So we've got a very good idea what we want to do. We've got a very good idea of how we can adapt from that. Which has been a big part of planning, and a lot of meetings that we've been having via Zoom, which is all new to me because I'm a bit of a technophobe. But I think we just got to wait and see what the government decide.
What sort of brand of rugby are you going to look to try and play next year? What can fans maybe expect when they come to Castle Park to watch the Knights?
Like, as a coaching team, we had a really good chat about what we want the team to sort of represent. I'd like to think we're going to be adaptable. So we've got a little bit of different personnel to suit different styles of opposition, or it could be styles of play that we want to sort of put on the opposition more. I think we'll be more mobile. If you look at the way the game's going now, the game's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. We'll be able to win games in different ways. I think it's important for success, or perform in different ways. It's like, can we dog it out in the wet? Can we play to width? Can we squeeze a team with our set piece? And I think, they're all important things. It's pretty simple. In fact, fundamentals, a lot of detail that goes into getting that done. But I think the main thing is we want to be adaptable, and we want to be able to play at sort of a high pace. Now, high pace and high tempo doesn't mean that you chuck the ball from side to side. It just means that we play high pace rugby. Whatever is the best way to win that game. That could be that we got to play direct. That could be that we do play to width. That could be we play a high volume kicking game. We just need to be adaptable.